Can the Tennessee Titans remain relevant in the race for the AFC number one seed? That and more today on the Thursday night preview brought to you by Footballguys.com. Save time, worry less, win more. The first thing we're going to discuss is some injury news. So on the 49ers side of the ball, you're going to have injuries to Elijah Mitchell. He's been ruled out heading into week 16, and Trey Sermon is going to be inactive. That's it for the 49ers side of the ball, though, which is good news, especially this late in the season, especially with them vying for a playoff spot. But now you head over to the Tennessee Titans, and things get a little bit more interesting. So A.J. Brown is being projected to play as of now. Julio Jones is also not on the injury report. However, you're going to see here in a moment, we have him projected for very few points. And at this point in the season, you're really not going to want to rely on Julio Jones remaining healthy. It's been the last few active games for Julio Jones. He's had to leave early because that hamstring is just not right now. So you're going to be firing up A.J. Brown. But at this point in the playoffs, we have to hope that you have a better option for your team than Julio Jones, because it's just, you don't want to lose at this point in the season because Julio Jones's hamstring didn't hold up for the third game in a row, right? So let's go ahead and share the screen and head through some of these projections. So we do have the Tennessee Titans playing at home +3 against San Francisco. So that's an interesting spread. And the total is 44 points. We're going to have Ryan Tannehill down here at QB 20. And that's projected 18.5 points. So that's still okay, right? You're still something you can rely on your 2 QB and your super flex. But we have Jimmy Garappolo projected at QB 16. So if you're interested in riding Jimmy Garappolo into the sunset, he's actually got a reasonable schedule to do so. Let's head over to running back. We're going to have a couple relevant guys down here in the mid-teens. We're going to have Deontay Foreman at RB 20, and then Jeff Wilson at RB 16. So that's going to be 11.6, 11.2 respectively. You're not really going to want to go any deeper than that in this game. Even for what the heck flex is, you're really not going to want to go with Jeremy McNichols or anybody like that. This is where it gets interesting. So you've got really two relevant guys. So you have Deebo Samuel up here at wide receiver 2, 14.7, definitely respectable. But then you have to get to A.J. Brown, who's down here at wide receiver 29.1. And then after that, there's nobody that you're going to play in your fantasy playoffs. As I mentioned before, Julio Jones is being projected only 1.7 points by us, and that's basically just because he's active. It's just a situation to monitor going into the game. Hey, if there's more positive news on Julio Jones and you're desperate, every league is different, right? So I'm not going to say that you cannot play him if he's active. There's some positive news and you are just absolutely desperate. Would I go to a different player in this game? No, probably not. I would probably fire up Julio Jones and just cross my fingers. But mostly you're just going to be focusing on Deebo Samuel and A.J. Brown in this game. Last thing we're going to get to is going to be the tight ends. So, of course, you're going to have George Kittle up here, 11.4. He's actually the highest projected tight end in this game, in this week, actually. And then there's not going to be anyone that I'm going to fire up from the Tennessee Titans side of the ball. So just focus on your George Kittle. And at this point in the playoffs, you really not going to want to go with what the heck flex is in a 44-point over-under. I mean, there's going to be better players on your waiver wire that you can fire up than some of the guys in this game, especially really early in the week. Now, I did want to mention before I get out of here, with COVID being so prevalent in the league, if you have questions, if you've got question marks, you have players that may not be active, things like that, just give a slight lean to the players in your Thursday night game because they're playing, right? We know they're playing. You don't want to say, you know what, I want to get another week out of A.J. Brown and then don't play A.J. Brown. And then all of a sudden 3 of your wide receivers go on the COVID list come Sunday and you didn't play A.J. Brown, right? So if you're leaning, do I want to play A.J. Brown or somebody playing on Sunday? You probably want to play A.J. Brown and just take the points that you can get right now and just be safe going into Sunday. And same thing with these quarterbacks. If you've got I've got Jimmy Garappolo and I've got somebody close to Jimmy Garappolo playing this weekend, you might just fire up Jimmy Garappolo, right? Because you want to take the points that you can get now and not worry about what might happen with the NFL COVID protocol come Sunday. So that's going to do it for today's Thursday night preview. Good luck with your second round of the playoffs.